The moment you pull a 1965 Roosevelt dime out of your pocket, a coin jar, or an old collection, you might think it is just another ordinary 10-cent coin. After all, millions of people have handled this little silver-colored coin over the decades without giving it a second thought. But what if I told you that some 1965 dimes have sold for hundreds, thousands, and in rare situations even tens of thousands of dollars because of their condition, unusual characteristics, or rare minting errors? Today we're going to uncover everything you need to know about the famous 1965 United States Roosevelt dime, how to identify the most valuable examples, what mint marks you should know about, how much a circulated fine condition coin is worth today, and what collectors are willing to pay in today's auction market. Stay with me until the very end because one small detail on your coin could make the difference between a coin worth only 10 cents and one worth a surprising amount of money. Before we begin, welcome to Coin Study, your home for rare coins, valuable collectibles, and exciting auction discoveries from around the world. If you enjoy learning how ordinary-looking coins can become extraordinary treasures, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with fellow collectors. Now let's dive into the fascinating story of the 1965 Roosevelt dime. The year 1965 marked one of the biggest changes in the history of United States coinage. Rising silver prices had become a major concern for the U.S. government. For many years, Roosevelt dimes had been struck using 90% silver and 10% copper. As silver prices continued to climb, people began saving coins for their precious metal value instead of spending them. This created a serious shortage of circulating coins throughout the country. To solve the problem, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965. This law completely changed the metal composition of the dime. Instead of 90% silver, the new Roosevelt dime was produced using a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper and nickel. This clad composition allowed the government to continue producing coins without relying on expensive silver. Because of this major transition, the 1965 Roosevelt dime became an important milestone in American coin history. It represents the first regular issue Roosevelt dime made without silver for circulation. That historical significance alone has made it one of the most collected modern U.S. coins. The obverse of the coin features President Franklin Delano Roosevelt facing left. Roosevelt was honored on the dime shortly after his death because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his strong support for the March of Dimes campaign against polio. Around his portrait, you'll find the words, Liberty, the national motto, In God We Trust, and the date, 1965. Turn the coin over and you'll see a torch in the center, representing liberty. An olive branch appears on one side, symbolizing peace, while an oak branch appears on the other, representing strength and independence. Around the edge you'll read, United States of America, one dime, and the motto, E Pluribus Unum. One detail that often surprises collectors is the absence of a mint mark on regular 1965 dimes. During the years 1965 through 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from circulating coins. Officials hoped this would discourage collectors from hoarding newly minted coins and help ease the nationwide coin shortage. Even though millions of coins were struck at different facilities, the regular 1965 dime does not display a mint mark. Many beginners believe that a missing mint mark automatically makes a coin rare. In the case of the 1965 Roosevelt dime, that is not true. A coin without a mint mark is exactly what collectors expect for normal circulation strikes from that year. The Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of 1965 Roosevelt dimes. More than 1 billion pieces were struck, making it one of the highest mintage dimes in American history. Let's talk about the coin specifications because these details are important when identifying genuine examples. The coin has a diameter of approximately 17.9 mm and weighs about 2.27 grams. Its edge is reeded, featuring 118 tiny grooves around the outside. The coin is composed of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel, giving it its familiar silver-colored appearance even though it contains no silver. If you suspect your coin might be unusual, one of the first things to check is its weight. A standard clad dime should weigh very close to 2.27 grams. If your coin weighs significantly more or less, it may be worth having it examined by a professional because unusual planchet errors can sometimes create valuable collectibles. Now let's focus on circulated fine condition, since many viewers discover these coins in pocket change, old piggy banks, or inherited collections. In fine condition, Roosevelt's hair will show moderate wear, the cheek and jawline will have noticeable flattening, and the torch on the reverse will have reduced detail. However, all major design elements and lettering should remain clearly visible. Because of the enormous number produced, a normal 1965 Roosevelt dime in circulated fine condition is generally worth its face value of 10 cents. Dealers usually cannot pay a premium because supply greatly exceeds collector demand for ordinary circulated examples. However, don't stop watching if your coin appears ordinary. Some 1965 dimes become valuable because of rare minting mistakes rather than their basic date alone. These mint errors are what many collectors search for, and they can dramatically increase a coin's value. One popular error is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet is not properly aligned before being struck by the dies. As a result, part of the design is missing while the remaining portion appears shifted toward one side. A minor off-center strike might sell for $50 to $100, while dramatic examples showing the full date can bring several $100s depending on the percentage of the design that is missing. Another collectible variety is the clipped planchet error. During the manufacturing process, a blank may be punched too close to the edge of the metal strip, leaving a curved section missing from the finished coin. Genuine clipped planchet errors are eagerly collected because they are easy to recognize and difficult to counterfeit. Depending on the size and appearance of the clip, values often range from around $50 to several $100s. Collectors also search for broad strike errors. These occur when the retaining collar fails during striking, allowing the metal to spread outward. The resulting coin appears wider than normal with a missing or weak edge. Attractive broad strike dimes frequently sell for meaningful premiums over face value. Another fascinating error is the double strike. In this situation, the coin is struck more than once, creating overlapping or distorted images. Strong double strikes are much scarcer than minor machine doubling and can command impressive prices in today's collector market. Sometimes a coin may be struck on the wrong metal planchet intended for another denomination. These wrong planchet errors are among the most exciting discoveries in modern coin collecting. Because they are extremely rare, authenticated examples have sold at major auctions for thousands of dollars. Collectors should also pay close attention to die cracks, die breaks, and retained cuts. These errors occur as minting dies wear out over time. Although small die cracks may add only a modest premium, large and dramatic examples are often sought after by specialists. Another category that attracts attention is the die clash. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. This leaves faint impressions of one design on the opposite die, which can then transfer onto future coins. Well-defined die clash marks can increase collector interest and sometimes raise the value beyond that of an ordinary circulated example. Condition is another major factor that determines value. Even though millions of 1965 dimes exist, very few have survived for more than 60 years without significant wear. Coins with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal contact marks become increasingly desirable as their grade improves. That's why certified mint state examples often sell for far more than circulated pieces. Professional grading services carefully examine every detail under magnification before assigning a grade. Even a single point difference can significantly change auction prices. For modern coins like the 1965 Roosevelt dime, exceptional preservation is often more important than the date itself. So if you have a 1965 dime, don't assume it's only worth 10 cents. Examine the weight, check for unusual striking errors, inspect the edge, look for off-center designs, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or other unusual characteristics. While most circulated fine examples remain worth face value, the right error or outstanding condition can transform an ordinary dime into a collectible that attracts serious attention from buyers and auction bidders. As collectors continue searching through rolls, estate collections, and old family coin albums, the 1965 Roosevelt dime remains one of the most examined modern American coins. While the vast majority are ordinary clad dimes worth only their face value in circulated condition, a small number stand out because of exceptional preservation, rare minting errors, or unusual production characteristics. These are the coins that generate excitement whenever they appear at major coin shows or auction events. One of the most interesting versions from 1965 is the Special Mint Set, often called the SMS dime. These coins were not released into everyday circulation. Instead, they were produced with specially prepared dies and carefully handled planchets, giving them a sharper strike and a smoother, more attractive finish than normal circulation coins. Although SMS dimes are not proof coins, they have a distinctive appearance that collectors appreciate. If you discover a 1965 dime with unusually clean surfaces, strong detail, and a satin-like finish that appears to have come from a collector set rather than circulation, it may be worth a closer inspection. The rarest and most exciting discovery involving a 1965 Roosevelt dime is the transitional silver era. During the change from 90% silver to copper nickel-clad coinage, a very small number of leftover silver planchets from 1964 are believed to have been accidentally mixed with the new production. As a result, a handful of genuine 1965 dimes were struck on 90% silver blanks instead of clad planchets. These transitional error coins are extremely rare. One of the easiest ways to identify a possible silver example is by checking the edge. A normal clad dime shows a visible copper-colored stripe around the edge because of its copper core. A genuine silver dime has a solid silver-colored edge with no copper stripe visible. Weight is another important clue. A normal clad 1965 dime weighs approximately 2.27 grams, while a silver example weighs about 2.50 grams. If you ever find a 1965 dime with a solid silver edge and the correct silver weight, do not clean it or alter it in any way. Instead, have it authenticated by a professional grading service because genuine transitional errors have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Another variety that attracts attention is the double die. A true double die is created during the die manufacturing process and displays noticeable doubling on letters, numbers, or design elements. This is very different from machine doubling, which is common and usually adds little or no value. Collectors examine the date, the word Liberty, and other inscriptions under magnification when searching for genuine double die examples. Strike quality also matters. Even though more than 1 billion dimes were produced, not every coin received a sharp strike. Coins showing crisp details on Roosevelt's hair, the torch, and both branches on the reverse are generally more desirable than weakly struck examples. High-quality strikes become especially important when coins are graded in mint state. Now let's discuss realistic values in today's collector and auction market. If your 1965 Roosevelt dime is in circulated fine condition with no errors or unusual features, its value remains about 10 cents, the same as its face value. In very fine condition, it may still be worth around 10 cents to 25 cents. In extremely fine condition, collector demand can increase the value to approximately 25 cents to $1. Uncirculated examples in lower mint state grades often sell for $3 to $15, depending on eye appeal and certification. Higher grade certified coins become much more valuable. A mint state 66 example may sell for $20 to $75, while an attractive mint state 67 coin can bring $100 to several $100s. Exceptional certified coins in the highest known grades have realized well over $1,000 in major auctions because of their rarity in top condition. These premium prices are reserved for coins with outstanding preservation, brilliant surfaces, and professional certification. Error coins can command even stronger prices. Off-center strikes with the complete date visible often sell between $100 and $500, depending on the percentage of the off-center strike. Broad strike errors may bring $75 to $250. Clipped planchet errors frequently sell in the $50 to $300 range, while dramatic double strikes can exceed $500. Wrong planchet errors and authenticated transitional silver errors are the true prizes, with some examples selling for several $1,000s at major auctions because of their extreme rarity. When examining your coin, good lighting is essential. Hold the dime under a bright light and slowly rotate it. Look carefully at the edge for the copper stripe, inspect the lettering for doubling, and check the overall surface for unusual features. A simple digital scale capable of measuring to 1/100th of a gram can also be a valuable tool for collectors. One mistake many people make is cleaning their coins before showing them to a dealer or submitting them for grading. Cleaning almost always reduces collector value because it damages the original surface. Even if a coin appears dull or tarnished, leave it exactly as you found it. Professional collectors generally prefer natural surfaces over polished ones. Storage is equally important. Keep valuable coins in non-PVC holders, archival quality flips, or hard plastic capsules. Proper storage protects the coin from scratches, fingerprints, moisture, and environmental damage that can reduce its value over time. If you believe you found an unusual 1965 Roosevelt dime, compare it with another normal 1965 dime. Differences in weight, edge appearance, diameter, or design details may help identify something special. When in doubt, seek an opinion from an experienced coin dealer or submit the coin to a respected grading service for authentication. The 1965 Roosevelt dime reminds us that even common-looking coins deserve a second look. It represents a historic turning point in American coinage, marking the transition from precious metal coinage to modern clad circulation coins. While most examples remain inexpensive, a tiny percentage possess characteristics that make them highly desirable among collectors. The next time you receive change from a store, open an old piggy bank, or sort through a family coin collection, don't overlook a 1965 dime. Spend a few minutes examining its condition, its edge, its weight, and any unusual features. That careful inspection could reveal a collectible worth far more than its 10-cent face value. Thank you for watching Coin Study. I hope this guide has helped you understand why the 1965 Roosevelt dime continues to attract collectors from around the world. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next rare coin discovery. Now I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever found a 1965 Roosevelt dime in your pocket change, and after watching this video, do you think it might be an ordinary 10-cent coin, or could it be one of the rare and valuable examples collectors are searching for today?